Art and antiques will go under the hammer next week. It's a treasure trove collected by the late media tycoon James Fairfax. To find out more about the collection, Michaela Boland was given exclusive access to Mr. Fairfax's former home.
Retford Park was the home of a newspaper baron who became a tastemaker for his generation.
It's certainly a house with something of a wow factor.
Now, the full glory of James Fairfax's grand house and, separately, his art collecting is revealed. The ABC was given a sneak peek inside the Bowral mansion and grounds ahead of its opening to the public later this year.
It's not just any old swimming pool, is it?
And ahead of 3 auctions, which, for a brief week, bring hundreds of pieces of his art collecting into view.
It is through this collection that you get a real sense of the man, because they're objects that Mr. Fairfax lived with and enjoyed and collected over a number of years.
James Fairfax was a media mogul, philanthropist and prolific art collector. He was media shy, yet visible in the art community, which sometimes gathered at his house.
He had this wonderful dinner service made in Italy. It's got the house on it.
Before James Fairfax died in January, aged 83, he pledged the $18 million property to the National Trust, the most generous gift in the state's history. In his lifetime, he gave millions of dollars worth of art to galleries. In death, he left behind an unrivalled personal collection of Australian modern and colonial paintings and European old masters.
He bought what he liked and he bought very well.
Among those on sale will be a rare Sid Nolan and a museum-grade Ralph Bolson painting.
We are confident that we will set a record for the artist with that picture alone. The art market at the moment for A-grade paintings hasn't been better in 10 years.
In a couple of days, the entire collection will go under the hammer with expectations of raising about $10 million for charity. But the monetary value aside, it's the passion and conviction that Fairfax brought to his collecting that tells a much more interesting story.
A very deliberate collector. He was very studied.
I believe that collectors did follow his example.
The artworks are on display in Sydney ahead of the auctions this week. Michaela Boland, ABC News.
It's time for sport now with Scott Rollinson.